So, another Criminal Minds one. Season 5, episode 12. And this one's a little bit not... Well, this is criminal. All of these have a level of dark. It's not as dark as the last time I talked about an episode. Jeez, that was dark. Anyway. I like this because it essentially has a lot of, like, powerful moments by certain things. There's two sort of things that I like. Three. One... This talks about sort of like how sometimes if you collect something a lot, it could become not great overall. I know it's not the whole thing, and being a collector, trust me, I can show you my whole amount of anime figures, board games, and records that I have, or even CDs. I collect a lot of stuff for some reason. I have a lot of keychains I have pointed out. I collect stuff, and I'm like, this is important with this. I legitimately have Coke bottles from the 2012 Olympics, because those were the Coke bottles, the good ones that you got on the tower when you went up to the Olympics. Just before anyone says anything, no, they don't have anything in them. I drank them on the day they should when I was up there. I just had the bottles, the empty bottles that have nothing in them. Yes, I know they're just cans, and I know they're just metal. I have a lot of stuff like that. I have tickets to movie theaters or plane tickets. I got rid of some of them because I'm like, okay, plane tickets I might not need to keep. Or all of this is maybe I shouldn't keep this stuff. Anyway, the reason why I say that is because I'm not a person demeaning collecting. I see a lot of people having collections and I get impressed wow. But you can get a little bit fixated. The other thing I like is that you get this message of the father having this dark thing. And there's a lot of moments that you could say in other things. One of the other ones, which I don't think I am going to talk about because it is this. It's one of the episodes that go a little bit off, which is free. You have the assessment with Aaron Hotch earlier that I didn't talk about. That has a sort of what I describe as sort of a habit edit switch, which is you deal with how their higher up, she sort of interviews them and does this. You also have one where Aaron Hotch interviews them, and you have one where basically a panel of investigators interview them. And all three deal with clips of each time they interview. The reason why I do that is one of the times that I he sort of does this, which he doesn't. He sort of has a lot of people say, oh, doctor, but sometimes they like detective. But the one time that he actually, one of the times he actually did it for me, which was one of the two times which I had this big moment, which was, I was doing this, where I was like, detective, really, could you calm down? And he has, this is calm, and it's doctor. And he's like, that amount of this is calm and it's doctor. It's like, we're gonna do this? Let's do this. It's so... Obviously, he does better because I'm not really an actor, and how he does the line delivery is better than I do. But the other one is the one where, in this episode, he gets... It's like, oh, where did this come from? Where did this come from? And he's like, oh, I'm just making an inference. A connection between 2 points. And if you make a connection between those 2 points, and it's like, you can't prove anything. It's like, see, that's the thing. I have a thing where it's like, I don't want to do that worry. And that's the jury of your peers. And we're going to bring these 3 people and see how they react. And it's this whole bit of they need to get this bit of information to try and find the culprit. And he's just saying nothing. Because obviously he gets protected. It's so effed up that way. But overall, I like it because I like the idea that it's you are protecting this person because of what you did, not only to her, but to, obviously, these 3. Which is so effed up. The other thing I like, because it's not the exact same thing I presumably like, but there's a lot of body horror. What do I mean by that? You have a scene where she's sort of crawling and her arm fully comes off. You can kind of see when it sort of happens. It's a couple of seconds, but it's fine enough that I do not care. That the arm just goes, I'm like, when I say that, you can kind of see there's a bit of like. It's like, do you ever when you see green screen? It's not too bad. It's pretty decent. I think this is like 2000s. So like it's pretty decent. It's fine. But you see like her arm turns into a mannequin, her legs turn into mannequins, and it's. This is horrifying. This is nightmarish. This is literally not what's happening because obviously that would be magic and Criminal Minds has none. I've talked about a thing where it's like, oh what? Criminal Minds are magic. It's like, magic doesn't exist. This is nightmarish. This is horrifying. This is like body horror. Like, it's like, what the? Obviously, you find out later that this is a nightmare, and it's fully insane. But that is scary on a whole different level. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, and good night.